welcome to our English Flow Podcast channel.
Hello, everyone. A big welcome to our English Learning Podcast. I am Sarah.
And I am Mark. We are so happy that you are listening with us today. We hope you are ready to practice your listening skills.
Today, we have a very relaxing and enjoyable topic. It is something many people love to do on the weekend. We are going to talk about window shopping.
Window shopping? That is an interesting phrase. Does it mean we are going to a store to buy windows for a house?
No, Mark. That is a funny idea, but that is not the meaning. Let me explain. Window shopping is when you go to a shopping mall or a street with many stores. You look at the products, but you have no intention of buying anything.
Ah, I understand now. So, you look at the beautiful things in the shop windows. You enjoy the experience, but you keep your wallet in your pocket.
Exactly. It is a way to pass the time. It creates a feeling of fun without the cost. But before we discuss why we like it, let's learn some key vocabulary words for today.
Yes, definitions are very important. Our first word today is browse. B-R-O-W-S.
To browse means to look at goods for sale in a relaxed, casual way. You are not searching for one specific thing. You are just looking at everything.
That is a great verb. For example, you can say, I spent an hour browsing in the bookstore. You look at many books, but maybe you do not buy one.
Perfect example. Our next word is display. D-I-S-P-L-A-Y. A display is an arrangement of things for people to look at.
Shops use displays to make products look attractive. They put their best items on display in the front window to catch your eye.
Right. You might say, the clothing store has a colorful summer display.
Our third word is very common in clothing stores. It is mannequin. M-A-N-N-U-Q-U-I-N.
A mannequin is a large plastic doll. Shops use them to show clothes. They look like people standing in the window.
They help you see how a shirt or dress looks on a body. It helps your imagination.
Speaking of cost, our next word is price tag. This is the small piece of paper or sticker on an item. It tells you how much money it costs.
When window shopping, I always check the price tag. If the price is very high, I am happy that I am only looking.
Me too. And our last word for this section is trend. T-R-E-N. A trend is a general direction in which something is developing or changing. In fashion, it means a popular style.
Window shopping is great for spotting trends. You can see what colors are popular this season without spending money.
Exactly. So we have our words: browse, display, mannequin, price tag, and trend. Now that we are prepared, let's move on to our discussion. So Mark, let's talk about the reasons why people love window shopping. Why do we go to stores if we do not plan to buy anything?
That is a great question. I think the biggest benefit is very simple. It is free entertainment. Going to the movies costs money, going to a restaurant costs money, but walking around the mall costs nothing.
That is true. It is a cheap way to spend an afternoon. It is also a very social activity. You can go with a friend or your partner. You can walk and talk while looking at interesting things.
I agree. It is a low-pressure social situation. You do not need to stare at each other across a table. You have things to point at and discuss. Look at that shirt, or do you like this sofa?
Exactly. Another pro or advantage is inspiration. Many people go window shopping to get ideas. For example, if I want to change the decoration in my living room, I go to a furniture store.
You browse the displays to see what looks good together. You might not buy the furniture there, but you learn about colors and styles.
Yes, it helps you plan for the future. Maybe you are saving money for a new computer. You go to the electronics store to touch it and see it. It motivates you to save more money.
That is a positive way to look at it. Also, do not forget the exercise. Shopping malls are huge. If you walk around a large mall for 2 hours, you get a lot of physical activity.
That is a funny point, but it is real. It is walking in a climate-controlled environment. It is warm in the winter and cool in the summer.
However, Sarah, surely there are some downsides. Are there any cons to window shopping?
There are definitely some negatives. The biggest one is temptation.
Temptation is a dangerous feeling. You intend only to look, but then you see the perfect pair of shoes. They fit perfectly, they are on sale.
Suddenly, your plan to save money is gone. You buy the shoes. Window shopping can turn into real shopping very quickly if you do not have self-control.
That is true. If you are trying to save money, going to a store is risky. It is like a hungry person going to a bakery just to smell the bread.
That is a great comparison. Another negative is the feeling of dissatisfaction. Sometimes you see amazing, expensive luxury items. You realize you cannot afford them.
Yes, that can make you feel sad. You might compare your life to the display in the window. The display is perfect, but real life is messy.
So it requires a healthy mindset. You must enjoy the beauty without needing to own it.
Exactly. It is a balance.
Speaking of finding a balance, Sarah, the experience of window shopping changes depending on where you are. Let's talk about specific situations. Have you ever gone window shopping in very expensive luxury stores?
Oh, yes. That is a unique experience. I like to walk down the high-end fashion streets. I look at the bags and watches that cost thousands of dollars.
How does that make you feel? Sometimes I feel a little nervous entering those stores. The shops are very quiet. The security guards are wearing suits. I am afraid to touch anything.
I know that feeling. The atmosphere is very serious, but the staff are usually polite. Even if I am wearing casual clothes, I like to look closely at the quality of the leather or the sparkle of the jewelry. It feels like visiting a museum.
Visiting a museum is a perfect description. You appreciate the art, but you do not take it home. Now, let's think about a completely different situation. The holiday season.
Oh, holiday window shopping is the best. In December, big department stores create magical displays. They use lights, moving mechanical puppets, and fake snow.
It really is a show. Families go to the city center just to look at the windows. It is a tradition. You see children pressing their faces against the glass. They are so excited.
It creates a wonderful festive mood. The music is playing and the streets are crowded. In that situation, window shopping is about the community and the celebration, not just the products.
Absolutely. But Sarah, the world is changing. We must talk about a new type of window shopping, digital window shopping.
You mean online shopping?
Yes, but specifically browsing without buying. I often sit on my sofa with my phone. I open a shopping app and scroll for an hour.
I do that too. I add many items to my shopping cart. I pretend I am going to buy a whole new wardrobe. I choose the shoes, the coat, and the hat.
And then
I close the app. I do not buy any of it. It gives me a small feeling of satisfaction to choose the items, but I save my money.
it satisfies the hunting instinct. You found the best item, you put it in your cart, you feel successful. It is safer than going to the mall because you do not have to carry bags or drive a car.
However, online window shopping can be dangerous because buying is too easy. It only takes one click to pay. In a real store, you have time to think while walking to the register.
That is a very wise point. The physical distance in a real store gives you time to change your mind. Online, it is instant.
So, whether it's a fancy luxury shop, a festive holiday street, or an app on our phone, the core activity is the same. We are looking and dreaming.
It really is about dreaming. It allows us to enjoy things without the stress of spending money. We have covered a lot of ground today, Sarah. Shall we summarize what we have discussed?
Yes, let's recap. Today, we talked about window shopping. This is the activity of looking at goods in stores without the intention of buying them immediately. It is about the experience, not the purchase.
We learned some useful vocabulary words. First, we had browse, which means to look through items casually. Then we discussed displays, which are the arrangements of products in the window or store.
We also mentioned mannequins, the plastic models that wear the clothes, and price tags, the stickers that tell us the cost. Finally, we talked about spotting a trend, which is a popular style or fashion.
In our discussion, we looked at the pros and cons. The main advantage is that it is free entertainment. It is a great way to get exercise and find inspiration for your home or wardrobe.
But we also warned our listeners about the disadvantages. The biggest one is temptation. It requires strong self-control to look but not touch. If you are not careful, window shopping can become expensive real shopping.
We also compared different types of window shopping, from walking down luxury streets and seeing holiday decorations to browsing on our phones at home.
It is a versatile hobby. Now, Mark, I think it is time for our weekly challenge. What should our listeners do this week?
This week, your challenge is called the One Photo Challenge. I want you to go to a store or a market. Browse the items until you find something you really love. It could be a shirt, a gadget, or a piece of furniture.
Okay, and then what? Do they buy it?
No, do not buy it. Look at the price tag. Imagine owning it. Then take a photo of the item with your phone. Keep the photo, but leave the item in the store.
That is a great challenge. It helps you practice enjoying the item visually without spending money. Later, you can look at the photo and describe why you liked it in English.
Exactly. Practice describing the color, the shape, and the price.
We hope you enjoy your window shopping trip this week. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast.
We appreciate your support. Keep practicing your English every day. See you next time.
Goodbye, everyone.